Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. So in this video we'll be taking a look at testing and reviewing this Ferrex mini bench grinder that I recently picked up in Aldi supermarket here in the UK. Very small lightweight bench grinder, and it has an arm for detailed work also. So let's take a closer look. Right, so here it is, the Ferrex 120 watt mini bench grinder. So you've got a 120 watt motor in this tiny little bench grinder. It has adjustable eye shields, spark deflectors, variable speed, which I like, so you can start off really slow and go up higher. You're not fixed on one speed, which is good. It's got wheel guards, power cable length is 2 meters, and it's got this flexible drive shaft which you can add on. You can see here on the photo, and that allows you to hold it like a pen and do engravings and little polishings and things like that. So that's another nice little feature that this has. So let's take a look inside the box. So we have the instruction manual here. Then you've got these eye shields which can be added on in a moment. We've got the grinder itself, nice lightweight small grinder. So this is just a hobby grinder. It's not for big projects, sort of like sharpening maybe a lawnmower blade. It's not for heavy duty kind of sharpening. It's for you know, jewelry, knives, things like that. So this is the sharpening stone on this side, and here you've got like a felt foamy polishing wheel. So here is the flexible shaft which attaches onto the machine. So you've got 2 spare wheels, the spare foamy felty type wheel. You could load this up with some compound and buff some jewellery, buff up some metal. And then there's a grinding wheel, spare one. I don't know what the grit is on this, how coarse it is. And it's roughly the same as the one that you get on it, I would say. Probably about the same, could be wrong. And it's got all the bits here. It's got the sort of little shelves at the front, the tool holders that you put on. I'll put this all on in a minute. And you've got lots of attachments. I'll just show you now. There's lots of attachments here that you add onto the flexible shaft at the end, and you can do a bit of engraving, a bit of polishing, things like that. So taking a look at the unit itself, you've got the 2 wheels here, the on and off switch, and then the variable speed switch here. There's some little rubber feet on the bottom. I think I'm going to add this onto like a wooden base, just so that it's easier to clamp onto a desk and keep still. That's pretty much it. So now I have added on all the little bits and bobs to the grinder. You can see the spark deflectors go up and down when you're using the machine, and you have the little tool rests here which you tighten up with these knobs, so you can lean your tool on here, whatever you're grinding or polishing. And you can then push down the visors. So attaching the tools onto the flexible shaft is quite simple. You just have to pull back this spring-loaded section here and loosen up this part. And underneath there's a collet that the tool sits in and then tightens. So once this is loose, just put it back on halfway, you can add the accessory, and it will push in, and then you just need to tighten this down, and you can then tighten the tool down with this little spanner. So I'll just show you now. Put our tool in. That'll be good to go now. So to install this flexible shaft, all you need to do is just locate, there's like a square hole inside here, and push this in, and then bring this over, and it's anti-clockwise to tighten. So now when you turn the machine on, the flexible shaft and the accessory will also spin. So I decided to make a little base for the bench grinder to keep it secure when in use, so I could clamp it to a surface, and it would be better for storing it on a shelf as well. So I've got this piece, this offcut of 20mm plywood, and I'm just centralising the grinder, and I'm going to use an awl to mark where the holes are to put some screws in here. So now I'm just drilling some pilot holes. I'm going to use screws because it's a very light, small grinder. I would use bolts if it was bigger and heavier, but I think it'll be just fine with screws. And I've put a washer on each. There are two holes, one at the front, one at the back, where you can attach this grinder to a base. And as you can see now, I can clamp this base to a workbench and keep everything sturdy. So now I'm going to give it a go at doing a bit of sharpening. I've got an awl that I need to sharpen, and just on the grinding wheel there, taking it easy. And I did find that it's quite a coarse wheel, and it removes quite a bit of material, and perfect for very small things such as this. So that came out great, nice and sharp, did a good job. Then I gave it a go on an old chisel. I'm guessing these aren't really designed to sharpen chisels, but this is just a small chisel anyway, and I just wanted to give it a go. And actually, if you take your time, it does do the job, but you will need a finer wheel to properly sharpen it, because it does take a bit too much material. It's a bit rough. So I gave it a quick go on a kitchen knife, and again it does remove the material, but the body in the center gets in the way, because anything long, it's obstructed by the body of the grinder, so it's not suited to sharpen long things like this. And it was a bit coarse, so it took a bit too much material off, but it did sharpen it. So now I'm going to give it a quick go. Do a little bit of engraving in some soft aluminium with the arm. So on this side of the grinder you have the buffing wheel, which is a little bit like a scouring pad. It's like a soft spongy material which I'm guessing that you'd load up with some polishing compound, some metal polish for buffing small metal items. Okay, so that is about it for the reviewing and the testing of this mini bench grinder. My first impression of this is it's very lightweight and convenient. It's got the arm here for detail work, engraving, sanding, grinding, that sort of thing. So that's useful to have, and you can remove this if you don't use it. And this is very lightweight and small. You can just put it on a shelf. You can just see me holding it now, how lightweight it is. You can put it on the shelf and forget about it, and then bring it out when you've got a project to do. It's got the grinding disc for grinding. Quite a bit too coarse for my liking, the disc. I would have liked it to come with a finer disc, but there you are. And it's got the buffing pad for buffing up metal, which is also useful. It is just a hobby tool. It's not an industrial grinder. You're not going to be able to sort of sharpen lawnmower blades and things like that with it. It is just a small hobby tool, but I don't think it's trying to be anything more than that. And it's got the speed adjustment, which is also very useful. I've put mine on this little base, which just helps to store it, putting it on a shelf, and helps to clamp it to a workbench to keep it steady. So if you did find this video useful, please remember to like and also consider subscribing for more DIY related videos. And as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.